Good evening and welcome to Doordarshan Kendra Kohima. I am Wabang Limla with the news. First, the headlines. India and EU conclude landmark free trade agreement unlocking new era of economic partnership. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh chairs all-party meeting in New Delhi ahead of budget session of Parliament. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says the DRDO has played a vital role in strengthening the nation's security framework. And government has allocated 32,000 crore for water conservation across countries, says Jal Shakti Minister C.R. Patel. And now the news in details. India and the European Union today finalized a free trade agreement. A delegation-level talk was held between Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President of the European Council Antonio Costa, and President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen in New Delhi. India and the European Union today exchanged 7 agreements, including in the fields of trade, security, defense partnership, mobility, disaster risk management, and green hydrogen. Speaking on this occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India and the European Union relations have strengthened and ties have reached new heights. He said this is not just a trade agreement but a new blueprint for shared prosperity. The Prime Minister said India today inked its biggest free trade deal with 27-nation European Union. He said this will boost investment, form new innovation partnerships and strengthen supply chains at a global level. The European Union is India's largest trading partner in goods. For the financial year 2024-25, India's total trade in goods with the EU was worth about 136 billion US dollars, with exports around 76 billion US dollars and imports at 60 billion US dollars.
हिस्से का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हैं। यूरोपीय संघ में 27 देश शामिल हैं। दोनों के बीच फिलहाल 180 बिलियन डॉलर का ट्रेड होता है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने इसे लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों पर आधारित सबसे बड़ा ट्रेड डील करार दिया, साझा समृद्धि का नया ब्लूप्रिंट बताया।
आज भारत ने अपने इतिहास का अब तक का सबसे बड़ा फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट संपन्न किया है। यह एक ऐतिहासिक समझौता हमारे किसानों, हमारे छोटे उद्योगों, इसके यूरोपियन मार्केट तक पहुंच आसान बनाएगा।
President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen said Europe and India have concluded a landmark trade agreement. In the social media post describing the deal as the mother of all deals, she said it will create a free trade zone encompassing 2 billion people, promising significant benefits for both sides. She added that the agreement marks the beginning of a new chapter in bilateral relations with both Europe and India, committed to further strengthening the strategic partnership. The government today convened the all-party meeting ahead of the budget session of Parliament at the Parliament.
The world's second and fourth largest economies, two giants who choose partnership in a true win-win fashion. A strong message that cooperation is the best answer to global challenges. This trade will integrate further our supply chain and strengthen our joint manufacturing power. It will cut up to 4 billion euros in annual tariffs for exporters of all sizes. And it will create good jobs for millions of workers here in India and in Europe.
The government today convened the all-party meeting ahead of the budget session of Parliament at the Parliament House Annex. Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh chaired the meeting. Leader of the House in Rajya Sabha J.B. Nadda, Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju, Ministers of State for Parliamentary Affairs Arjun Ram Meghwal and Dr. L. Murugan were present at the occasion. The budget session of Parliament will begin tomorrow and will continue till the 2nd of April with one break. Speaking to the media after the meeting, Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju said the first part of the budget session will have a motion of thanks on the President's address and a later discussion on the budget will be held in both the houses. Rijiju requested all the parties to cooperate in running the session smoothly. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh today said that the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) has played a vital role in strengthening the nation's security framework by developing advanced technologies. Addressing the felicitation ceremony of DRDO scientists in New Delhi, the minister said DRDO has 45 labs in the fields of aeronautics, missiles, armaments and advanced computing, making it the backbone of the country's defense capabilities. He stressed that in today's dynamic world where technology keeps evolving, there is a need for a collaborative ecosystem among PSUs, industry and academia to reinforce the country's defense ecosystem. We will now take a short break. Please stay tuned.
फॉरेक्स ट्रेडिंग अभी
एक ट्रेड में सिक्सर
ए अक्का प्रसिद्ध पहले सेफ्टी वरना क्लीन गोल्ड अनऑथराइज्ड प्लेटफॉर्म पे फॉरेक्स ट्रेडिंग यानी नुकसान धोखाधड़ी और कानूनी कार्रवाई का डर
मतलब नुकसान की हैट्रिक इसीलिए आरबीआई वेबसाइट पर जाएं ऑथराइज्ड लिस्ट जांचें आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए सतर्क रहिए
Welcome back. Jal Shakti Minister C.R. Patil today said that the government has allocated 32,000 crore rupees for water conservation across the country. Patil made this remark while interacting with water and wash warriors in New Delhi. The minister noted that 65% of MGNREGF funding will be utilized in critical or dark zones for water conservation or water-related works. On river conservation, Patil said that 15 pollution abatement projects were completed this year under the Namami Gange mission. Under the mission, Uttar Pradesh is leading with 6 projects, followed by Bihar with 4 and West Bengal with 3. He added that 37 lakh water harvesting structures have been completed so far, with a target of 1 crore structures this year. Noting the contributions of water warriors in water conservation, sanitation and Ganga rejuvenation, he said the community participation is the foundation of sustainable water management. On this occasion, the minister inaugurated 25 new centers under the Jal Livelihood Mission, taking the total of 51, with 24 more planned linking river conservation with livelihood generation. He also launched Youth for Ganga and the Youth for Yamuna mission. India today hit back at Pakistan in the United Nations, rejecting its false narrative on Operation Sindoor. It asserted that Islamabad has no locus standi to comment on the internal matters of India, particularly on the Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. In a strongly worded response at the United Nations Security Council, India has asserted that it is not normal to tolerate Pakistan's continued use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, P. Harish, was responding to remarks made by Pakistan's ambassador Asim Iftihar Ahmad during the Security Council's open debate on reaffirming international rule of law, pathways to reinvigorating peace, justice and multilateralism. Harish said Pakistan has a single-point agenda of harming India and its people. He rejected Pakistan's assertion that its response to Operation Sindoor had established a new normal, stating that terrorism can never be normalized. He said it is not normal to tolerate Pakistan's continued use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy and stressed that India will do whatever is necessary to protect the safety and security of its citizens. He cautioned that the Security Council cannot become a forum for legitimizing terrorism. The Directorate of Minority Affairs Nagaland organized awareness and sensitization program at the DC's Conference Hall, Wokha on January 27, 2026. The initiative aimed to inform stakeholders about various constitutional provisions and developmental schemes available to minority communities at both the national and state levels. The program began with a welcome address by ADC Wokha Rembemo Izang. Delivering the keynote address, Joint Director of Minority Affairs, Andrew C. Imti, highlighted the importance of empowering minority communities through access to government schemes and emphasized their role in strengthening inclusive growth and democratic values. A series of PowerPoint presentations were delivered by officials from the Minority Affairs Department. Program Assistant Krizutule presented on microcredit schemes under the National Minorities Development and Finance Corporation. LDA Lili Tongmoy spoke on the Minority Scholarship Scheme, which supports students from minority backgrounds in pursuing education at various levels. Project Officer Shalo King gave a detailed presentation on the Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram, a centrally sponsored scheme aimed at creating infrastructure and community access in minority-concentrated areas to ensure better socio-economic development, while Assistant Project Officer Tejaviz Rio presented on PM Vikas. This awareness and sensitization program marked the first of its kind in Wokha district by the Directorate of Minority Affairs. The Gujarat government today announced that under the Namo Lakshmi scheme, it will provide financial assistance of Rs 1,250 crore in the 2025-26 academic year to more than 12 lakh girls studying in secondary and higher secondary education. The scheme aims to ensure that financial constraints do not prevent girls from completing their education after primary schooling, according to the State Education Department. The initiative was launched under the guidance of Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, with Education Minister Dr. Bratuman Vaja and State Education Minister Rivaba Jadeja overseeing its implementation. The department stated that the scheme is open to students enrolled in schools recognized by the Gujarat Secondary and Higher Secondary Education Board or the Central Board of Secondary Education. Girls who are already beneficiaries of other government scholarships are also eligible, as the scheme provides additional support. Let us now look at the weather reports of the district headquarters of Nagaland.
Kohima today recorded a maximum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 6 degrees Celsius, while Dimapur had a maximum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Wokha experienced a maximum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 9 degrees Celsius. Mokokchung had a maximum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 7 degrees Celsius. Mon had a maximum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Towards the east, Twinsang had a maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. Zinabuto had a maximum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. Phek had a maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. That's all for the weather report.
And to end the news, here's a recap of the main points. India and EU conclude landmark free trade agreement unlocking new era of economic partnership. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh chairs all-party meeting in New Delhi ahead of budget session of Parliament. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says the RDO has played a vital role in strengthening the nation's security framework. And government has allocated 32,000 crore for water conservation across countries, says Jal Shakti Minister C.R. Patel. And that is all we have in this bulletin. Thank you for watching and good night.